There is a government on Earth actively trying to give away money, visas, and infrastructure to anyone who can build a real AI company. Not loans, not vague promises. An actual funded plan to go from 1,500 AI companies to 10,000 in the next 4 years. That government is the United Arab Emirates, and the city leading the charge is Dubai. Most people think of Dubai as tourism, the tallest building, the indoor ski slope, the gold souks. But behind that image, something much bigger has been happening for almost a decade. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what Dubai is building, why it's spending close to $100 billion to do it, what could go wrong, and what it actually means for the future of AI. Not just in the Middle East, but everywhere, including wherever you're watching this from. To understand why this is happening now, you have to go back to 2017. That year, the UAE did something no country had ever done. They appointed a Minister of Artificial Intelligence, a literal government position, one person whose entire job was to figure out how AI fits into the country's future. His name is Omar Sultan al-Olama, and he's still in that role today. At the time, this looked almost symbolic, a PR move by a country known for building impressive but sometimes hollow mega projects. But over the next 8 years, it turned into an actual strategy. In 2020, the UAE opened the world's first university dedicated entirely to AI research, Mbiza UAI. In 2023, a UAE-backed lab released Falcon, an open-source large language model that actually competed with models coming out of the US. And by 2025, the country had quietly built up over 1,500 pure AI companies, more concentration in one place than anywhere else in the region. Then, in mid-October 2025, at an event called Expand North Star, Dubai's flagship startup summit, which pulled in 2,000 startups from 180 countries and over 1,000 investors managing a combined $1.1 trillion, Al-Olama stood on stage and said the quiet part out loud. 1,500 companies wasn't the goal. It was the starting point. The real target, 10,000 AI companies by 2030. A 5-year plan to grow more than 500%. That's not a slogan. That's a number with a deadline attached, from a government that has a track record of actually hitting the deadlines it sets. The same country that built the world's tallest building in 6 years and the busiest international airport in the world. Here's where it gets specific. And this is the part most social posts about this story leave out. First, the money. The UAE's Minister of Investment has called AI the largest investment magnet in the country's history. Bigger than the historic oil boom, bigger than the real estate expansion, bigger than the shift into logistics and finance. Projections say AI could contribute close to $96 billion to the UAE's GDP by 2030 or 2031. To put that in perspective, that's roughly 14% of the country's entire economic output from a sector that barely existed as a serious industry a decade ago. Second, the infrastructure. You can't build 10,000 AI companies without the physical backbone to run them: chips, data centers, power. In October 2025, Microsoft signed a $545 million partnership with UAE telecom operator DO to enable local data processing for Microsoft 365 Copilot inside the country. And in Abu Dhabi, there's a project called Stargate, a 5-gigawatt AI data center campus involving both OpenAI and Nvidia. 5 gigawatts is an enormous amount of power. That's in the range of what a mid-sized country's entire electricity grid uses. Third, and this is the part aimed directly at people like the ones watching this video, the actual invitation to founders. Dubai's newest initiative isn't just build AI companies here, it's specific. Support 295,000 existing businesses in adopting what's called Agentic AI. AI systems that don't just answer questions but actually take actions on their own. The plan includes funding for 100 specialized AI assistants to be built for different industries and direct support for 50 new Agentic AI companies to launch. This is a government functioning less like a country and more like a venture fund with a passport office attached. Now, here's where I have to be honest with you, because most content covering this story stops at the exciting numbers and never asks the harder question, does this actually work? Analysts studying the plan have raised a real concern that Dubai could end up as what they call a high-profile test bed, meaning companies set up shop there, take advantage of the incentives, generate headlines and photo ops, but never actually build deep, lasting value inside the local economy. There's also a scale problem worth sitting with. Going from 1,500 to 10,000 companies isn't just 8,500 new startups. It means the UAE needs enough skilled AI talent, enough founders willing to relocate or build regional headquarters, and enough follow-on customers to sustain that many companies actually operating, not just registered. And there's a fairness question too. Funding data from early 2025 showed that across the wider Middle East and North Africa region, women-led startups received just over 1% of venture capital funding in that period. If the AI expansion doesn't address gaps like that, the 10,000 companies headline number could hide a much less balanced reality underneath it. So this isn't a guaranteed success story, it's a genuine high-stakes bet. Here's the bigger picture, and it's the real reason I wanted to cover this story first on this channel. For most of the last 2 decades, when people talked about where the future of technology gets built, there were really only 2 answers: Silicon Valley and increasingly China. What Dubai is attempting is a direct challenge to that assumption, not by out-innovating Silicon Valley on research, but by out-executing everyone else on infrastructure, capital, and speed of deployment. The same playbook that turned it from a fishing village into a global logistics and finance hub in about 50 years. They're now applying that exact playbook to AI. And if it works, even partially, it changes where the next generation of AI talent goes. It changes where AI regulation gets shaped first. That's not a regional story. That's a story about where global power in the AI era is actually heading. And right now, very few people outside the region are paying close attention to it. So, is Dubai going to hit 10,000 AI companies by 2030? Nobody knows yet, and anyone who tells you they're certain either way is guessing. This is exactly the kind of story this channel is going to be built around. Not AI hype, not fear-mongering, but tracking the real, verifiable moves that are actually shaping where this technology goes next. If that's useful to you, subscribe because there's a lot more of this coming. See you in the next video.